I tell you who seems nervous is Mr. Funk.
Yeah, Charlie doesn't feel totally comfortable.
No, he does not.
But they cannot match up with Lewistown man-to-man.
How much time do we have back there, Jim, roughly? I forgot to start this timer. Just let me know when you start another one and how many are left.
Dave, 1:15. They still don't have it. Lewistown's 3 guards are better than any of their 3 guards.
Not according to Charlie.
Nice crowd. There's Melissa Howard, Sue Sear, Bernie Howard, Tim Sear, Aaron Gingrich. I don't see Dick though. That concerns me. 30 seconds, Dave. 30.
So this is like for cable, we're just now starting. Okay.
This is first break.
You're gonna miss this one, so we're fine whatever we do here.
So we don't have to worry about them for
No, they're not on this break. 10.
Welcome back again live to Miller Memorial Fieldhouse on the campus of the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Roger Herto, Joe Pappas, Joe Diamond, and Statman back with us tonight for this big game. Of course, the winner advancing to the Final Four. Gentlemen, let's focus a little bit on this team from Blackhawk. Certainly the big difference from a year ago, Joel Diamond, is that Val Zona is not with this team anymore. Zona lit up Lewistown for 29 of their 61 points a year ago. She opted to go elsewhere, played her final year at Seneca Valley, did average, I understand, 27 points a game, and in fact got her college scholarship. So she is gone. This Blackhawk team turned their focus to team basketball, and they've been doing it so far in the postseason with defense.
And it was pretty much the same last year, Roger. I think Val Zona had the game of her career last year against Lewistown. If you remember, we were in the booth at St. Francis when Renee Portland was there last year, and she asked you the question, who is this Val Zona? And that was her coming out party, really, against Lewistown.
And Val Zona, by the way, signed a D1 full ride to the University of West Virginia, so that's where she's continuing her basketball career next year. This Blackhawk team, I mentioned Joe Pappas, they've done it with defense, and they've posted victories so far in the state tournament over Johnstown and Franklin, holding Johnstown to 22 points, Franklin to 37 in a 51-37 victory. If my math is correct, that means they're only giving up 29.5 points a game in the state tournament. That's phenomenal.
It's kind of like Lewistown's offense against Blackhawk's defense, and that's about it. If Blackhawk can get into a defensive struggle with Lewistown, I think the Lady Panthers might have some problems because they're used to just running up the score, and they've kind of coasted through this tournament.
Joe brings up a good point, Joel Diamond. If they can get out to that good start, I know you commented on it the past 2 years with this Lady Panther team. First quarter, third quarter, always big for Lewistown. I think they really need them today.
We saw a lot of guts from this Lewistown team last year. It's a different team this year, Roger, but Lewistown fell behind last year to Blackhawk. They came back in the second half. Blackhawk played to 10 players. And again, I remember from last year, Lewistown looked fresher coming down the stretch in the fourth quarter as they pulled away from Blackhawk, only using 7 players. Look for you, Lewistown, to use 7 or 8 players tonight. But I'm talking to Kevin Kodish before the game. You got Maggie Johnston, Krista Gingrich, and Jenna Feathers. If they need to play all 32 tonight, they're going to play all 32 tonight.
The winner of this game, as I mentioned, will advance to the Final Four. When we come back, we'll let you know who the winner will play. West Mifflin has already played against Canavan earlier today. We'll tell you who won that ball game and who would be next on the road to Hershey when we return to IUP right after this. Three minutes, Jim. Hey, are you set up okay with the cassette? Okay. Again, if Potsy, if I remember what he told me correctly, you use the guest mic pot and you just bring it up, punch both the audition and program down. Like I said, both bulbs are burnt though. So you got to kind of see what's coming through, and then if you just hit record, it'll run it, and then you can just let it run the whole game. So
where is Dick Gingrich? That concerns me more than anything.
Statman, is Dick Gingrich in the building? Diamond's all upset.
I haven't been able to find him.
I find Aaron, but I can't find Dick. I think no, that's not even Aaron, I don't think, besides Tim.
Is it hot in here?
Yeah.
A little hot.
No, I think you have a
Not like
fever,
last
Joe.
time.
I don't have my tie, so I can't speak.
I think you have a fever, Joe.
I felt a little nauseous on the ride up.
Can understand the fumes.
The Lady Titans, with a record of 19-11, will play in the Western Final. That might even be a record. Most losses, 11 L's, and you're in the Western Final.
Phil Shar. Boy, do I want that one.
And the Susie McConnell, Serio, Pete Serio fairy tale ending that I was saying is over.
For both of them.
Susie loses last night. Pete loses today.
There's Bernie.
What's our stat of the night so far, Statman? Do we have anything of interest at this point?
No, Dick Gingrich is our big word.
The biggest stat. Statman, his computers have stopped working. The biggest stat of the night so far, we've only counted 2 Gingrichs, and none of them have a first name of Dick.
I'm not sure it's Aaron that it's not Aaron that I see. I've only counted 1 Gingrich.
I saw, over here I saw
30 seconds, Dave.
30. Over here I saw Mrs. Gingrich.
Joanne.
Yeah.
Well, those are the only 2. Because Bernie's sitting right in there with Tim. I don't even know where JT is now. This is getting scary. I don't feel well.
10 seconds. Here we go, guys. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again live to the campus of the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Roger Hurto, Billy Joel Diamond, Joe Pappas, and Statman high above the court here at IUP, getting set for this afternoon's Western semifinal game between the Lewistown Lady Panthers and the Lady Cougars of Blackhawk. I mentioned the winner of this game will move on to the Final Four. We can tell you they will play West Mifflin. The Lady Titans of West Mifflin eliminated Canavan Catholic out of Pittsburgh, beating the Lady Crusaders 57-51 this afternoon. So, Joe Diamond, it's our old buddy Phil Shar who will be taking on the winner of this ball game. West Mifflin played Lewistown in a tough one last year up at Mount Aloysius that the Lady Panthers prevailed, but probably their biggest scare the whole way to Hershey.
Their biggest scare, West Mifflin, was tough inside. They have Kim Burke back this year. But talking about unfinished business, Roger, there is some unfinished business for the Chick sports team with Phil Shar, as very unprofessionally he jumped in our faces after the ball game, and that is unacceptable.
Yeah, we will find out next Wednesday, of course, if Lewistown gets by this one. But back to this ball game, lost to Pittsburgh North Catholic, and by the way, the roar you hear behind us is the Lady Panthers are getting ready to take the court. And it looks like about 3/4 of IUP are blue and white fans again tonight. But the last time they played here, again, getting back to the topic at hand, they did lose a tough ball game to Pittsburgh North Catholic. Since that time, however, they've gone 60-1, and the defending state champs are now taking the court for warm-ups.
I'm sure they'd like to exercise the demons, but I think this is a different situation. That was a couple years ago. I believe Maggie Johnston blew out her knee
2 years ago.
She might think about that a little bit, because, you know, athletes sometimes when they come into the same building, they start thinking a little bit and they start to play a little tentative. Hopefully she won't have that on her mind. And
that was 2 years ago, and boy, it seems like longer than that, Joel Diamond, to imagine that. But since that time, this Lady Panther team has gone 60-1. And they are currently ranked, I stand corrected, I guess the latest edition of USA Today now has them in the top 20 in the country.
They are rated 17th in the country by USA Today. Well deserved. Last year, surprisingly, they were 32-0, never rated in USA Today. But what brought them into the rankings this year, Roger, was winning the Rotary Tournament at Altoona against 2 Quad A teams.
It certainly was. And Blackhawk now taking the court as well. The Lady Cougars, the number 3 team out of District 7 with a record of 27-1. Of course, the Lady Panthers, the number 1 seed from District 6 with a record of 28-1. We'll be back at IUP with more on the pregame show right after this. Back again live at IUP, Roger Hurto, Billy Joel Diamond, Joe Pappas, and Statman. Our 3-man crew, come to think of it, Joel Diamond, has expanded to 4.
Our 3-man crew was undefeated, so hopefully our 4-man crew will be undefeated.
Yes, we certainly do hope so. Both coaches, school administrators, and officials are meeting at the head scoring table right now. Let's talk about the 2 head coaches. No surprise when you have successful programs like this, Joel Diamond, you have coaches who have been there for a while. Of course, everyone back home knows that for Kevin Kodish, this is his 14th season guiding the Lady Panthers. But for Blackhawk, Mike DeCellis, his 16th season at Blackhawk. So you're seeing 2 programs who have been through time together, and certainly I think that's a case anywhere. If you look at a successful team anywhere, you're going to find a coaching staff and a group of kids that have been together for a while.
For a while, and you also look at the total Blackhawk program with Mike DeCellis. You look at the boys' side with Johnny Miller. If you remember last year, the Lewistown boys defeated Blackhawk right here in this gym with Johnny's son Archie and his older son Sean Miller. Played at Pitt, now an assistant coach at North Carolina State. So it's a total good basketball program, which we see the same thing in Lewistown.
Certainly do. And along with that, Joe Pappas, you look at the players on these 2 teams. One of the biggest differences I see when you look at these 2 rosters, Lewistown led 3 seniors in the starting lineup. Maggie Johnston, Krista Gingrich, of course, the 2 names that come to mind. They have combined to score 48 points a ball game. And then you throw in Heather McElwain, the other senior. This team from Blackhawk, we knew they were young a year ago. You weren't with us at the time, but they were young then. They only have 1 senior in the starting lineup. So their shirts that say unfinished business could go for another year or 2. Yeah, this is a very young ball team.
They only have 1 senior in the entire roster. They're going to be good for years to come, 2, 3, maybe 4 years. They have a good program. They just keep developing more.
And we should point out, too, that of the starters in this group, they do start a sophomore in the lineup tonight, and they will play a total of 8. And that's the one thing both teams have going for them, Billy Joel, is they will go to the bench. Lewistown mainly going to the bench for the forwards. Blackhawk will go to the bench 8 to 10 deep. Primarily, as their assistant coach told me, we have 8 starters. They rotate 8 different people, but they will go 10 deep.
They like to pressure you the whole ball game. We'll see if they come out with full court from the beginning of the game and try to maintain it through the end of the game. It'll be interesting. Lewistown's 3 guards, as you said earlier, Roger, they're tough to handle. That's going to be the key of this ball game.
And I think that is going to be the key, Joe Pappas. Pressure in the backcourt. Lewistown has seen pressure. The only time I can think of that they had any trouble with it was their only loss up at Bishop Guilfoyle. And Bishop Guilfoyle, a similar team, small. Bishop Guilfoyle likes to play a lot of people. That was a night also that Lewistown did not shoot well. The 65-63 loss, Lewistown's only loss of the season. And I think it does come down to that. Kevin Kodish told us during our Road to Hershey segments this week, if we handle the ball, this is our ball game to win or lose.
That's right. Usually we talk about Lewistown's press causing turnovers. Well, now they're going to have to deal with Blackhawk's press and the possibility that they could cause some turnovers. And I think that the man pressure that they saw from Ville Marie, although it wasn't like we're going to see here tonight, it does help them for tonight's game.
Certainly we do hope so. Both teams are out on the court finishing up their pregame warm-ups. Lewistown, the home team again, will be wearing the white. And for Blackhawk, they'll be wearing the visiting green today for this contest. When we come back, we'll run down the starting lineups. Tip-off about 5 or 10 minutes away. You're listening to the pregame show on Chicks 105. Back again live at IUP. Roger Hurto, Billy Joel Diamond, Statman, and Joe Pappas with you this afternoon. Actually into this evening now, as the Lewistown Lady Panthers are trying to advance to the Final Four in Pennsylvania. Some scores from earlier today. We already told you that West Mifflin will be the team playing the winner of this ball game. West Mifflin eliminated Canavan Catholic earlier this afternoon, 57-51. Joel Diamond, so far so good for District 6. The Altoona boys play after this game. The Altoona girls were winners last night in Quad A. They are still alive in the tournament. And earlier today here at IUP, both Bishop Carroll and Williamsburg's girls were victorious. So District 6 on a roll.
District 6A girls, both Bishop Carroll and Williamsburg, started the sweep, hopefully for District 6 here today. As you mentioned, they were at IUP. 2 wins. They will play to see who goes to Hershey next Saturday in A-ball. Hopefully Lewistown and the Altoona boys can continue that momentum.
Let's certainly hope so. Joe Pappas, let's get the starting lineups quickly for the ball game. First of all, for the Lady Cougars of Blackhawk.
Their only senior of the game is Larissa Daly, number 32. She's their center, 5'8" and a half senior. At the forward positions, Jody Knotts, number 23, a 5'8" junior. At the other forward position, Carrie Snyder, number 24, 5'7" junior. And at the guards, Tara Guandola, number 14, a 5'2" sophomore guard, and Lisa Miller, number 11, a 5'3" junior guard.
And we should point out again, Blackhawk does mainly have 8 starters. They will, however, go 10 deep on the bench. Quickly, I'll run down the lineups for the Lady Panthers. The lineup you're used to, of course. Krista Gingrich, the All-American, will start out top, the 5'7" senior, joined by her 5'7" senior guard teammate Maggie Johnston. Jenna Feathers, the 5'6" junior, part of that trio of guards that have been outstanding over their careers at Lewistown. Inside, it'll be McElwain, Heather McElwain, the 5'10" senior, and 5'10" sophomore Hillary Worley that will get the start. Of course, we'll see a lot of Zampelli and Snyder as the ball game goes along. When we come back, we'll have the opening tip-off. You're listening to live coverage of postseason basketball on Chicks 105. 4-minute break.
Blackhawk will be visiting team on the scoreboard. Let's meet the starting five for Blackhawk Lady Cougars with a record of 27-1. The third seeded team out of District 7. Starting at guard, a 5'3" junior, number 11, Lisa Miller. Starting at guard, a 5'2" sophomore, number 14, starting at forward, a 5'8" junior, number 23, Jody Knott. Starting at forward, a 5'7" junior, number 24, Terry Snyder. And starting at center, a 5'9"
being given over our public address system. Blackhawk, the Lady Cougars, just finishing up being introduced. Blackhawk, of course, under the direction of head coach Mike DeChellis. We mentioned in our pregame show DeChellis in his 16th season. And now you will hear a roar for the Lady Panthers. An overwhelming crowd advantage, Joe Pappas again. And in the postseason, it's continued. Everywhere they go, it's like a home game.
Every single gym that we've entered, Roger, it's been 90% Lewistown and 10% for the opposition, and here it's no different.
Certainly is a great atmosphere, and as we mentioned earlier today, District 6 winning both of the early games. Williamsburg's girls victorious, Bishop Carroll's girls victorious. Following the Lady Panthers tonight, the final game is a boys quad A game with Altoona taking on Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And let's hope, Joel Diamond, District 6 can make it 4-0 here today at IUP.
It would be a great sweep for District 6 to send 4 teams from today, plus the Altoona boys from last night to the Western, or the Altoona girls, excuse me, to the Western Finals.
And I should also mention, official-wise, you know, we commented on this earlier this week on Wednesday when we made that long trip to Clarion that we didn't recognize any of the officials. The officials were not from District 6. We weren't on the District 6 court. That has all changed today.
We have District 6 officials, Dan Gales, who we've seen earlier in the year refereeing one of the Lewistown girls game. I believe it was the district final. He's here today, and also one of your friends, Roger.
Yeah, a couple of these guys I get to know quite well over the course of the season, but a good three-man crew, probably one of the top-rated three-man crew in District 6. Would not be surprised to see these three in Hershey a week from tonight. Let's hope we'll also see the Lady Panthers there. We are set to tip it off and get underway. Heather McElwain jumping center for the Lady Panthers, and doing the honors is Larissa Daly for Blackhawk, and it's Blackhawk with the opening possession of the ball game. With the ball, Lisa Miller, their leading scorer, comes near side, and just like our last ball game, her pass is picked off by Jenna Feathers. To the other end, Maggie Johnston misses the layup. Feathers with a rebound, and she puts it back up and in for two. Jenna Feathers with a steal, an offensive rebound, and a bucket, and Lewistown leads 2-0. Blackhawk goes right down inside, and the shot is blocked, and then a reach-in foul against Blackhawk. They went down low to Larissa Daly, and Daly's shot blocked from behind. She then tried to get the rebound and committed a reach-in foul, and the noise is deafening here at IUP.
Started like the last game, Feathers with the steal. That time Johnston had the opportunity for the layup. It looked like she was fouled, but Feathers got the layup as she did the other night at Clarion.
Lewistown with the ball in the half court, leading 2-0. Out top, Hillary Worley. Worley hounded, gives it up far side to Johnston. Johnston working one-on-one against Guandalo. And Johnston now has it taken away and stolen. With the basketball trying to go end-to-end is Larissa Daly, and the ball knocked away from behind by Jenna Feathers. And that's one thing I think that Lewistown's guards may have some problem with tonight, is Blackhawk extremely quick and a little bit more ball pressure than Lewistown has seen probably during the course of the year. On the inbound, wide open, the pull-up jumper, no good, however, for Carrie Snyder. And back comes Lewistown with the ball. Maggie Johnston in the high post to McElwain, wide open. Her shot is short. They bang for the rebound. McElwain again, her shot partially blocked. Loose ball, and Blackhawk has it. Lady Cougars will bring it across the timeline, trailing 2-0. We've played 1 minute here at IUP. Far side, Guandala, the sophomore with the basketball, comes out top with it to Snyder. Snyder working one-on-one against McElwain. Hands off to Miller, and Lisa will reset the Cougar offense. 6:30 and counting here in the opening quarter, all the way to the bucket with a scoop shot. And laying it up and in for two is Lisa Miller. Went right by Maggie Johnston, got the bucket, and we're tied at 2.
Good crossover dribble that time by Miller.
Lewistown on offense, wide open in the corner. Hillary Worley, her shot will not fall. And, oh my, Lewistown got a big break there. McElwain looked like she was all over the back of Blackhawk and then reached in with the left hand and got the jump ball call. Lady Panthers getting a break here early, and they will get the ball on the alternating possession. Hillary Worley inbounding under her own bucket, throws to Gingrich. Ball knocked loose. Krista ends up with it, pass to McElwain, wide open from 15, and she hits it. Heather McElwain hits for 2, and Lewistown leads 4-2. At the other end, quick pull-up jumper up and in by Tara Guandolo, the sophomore. Not playing like a sophomore, Joel Diamond, and we're tied at 4.
The Lewistown coaches were concerned about Blackhawk pushing the ball up court. They've been able to do that successfully thus far.
Far side, Jenna Feathers with the ball for Lewistown in the half court. Picks up the dribble, gives it up in the corner to McElwain. McElwain hounded down there, and now a jump ball the other way. Jody Knotts, one of 2 twin sisters that will be playing today for Blackhawk. Knotts tied up McElwain. The alternating possession arrow will give it back to Blackhawk.
One interesting thing thus far in the first 2.5 minutes, Roger, Krista Gingrich has not touched the ball offensively very much for Lewistown.
Lisa Miller with it now for Blackhawk, as they could take their first lead of the ball game. Larissa Daly comes near side to Miller. Miller down low on the blocks, ball knocked away and stolen. Here comes Lewistown on the run. Maggie Johnston on the floor trying to go end-to-end, gives it up to Worley. Her shot is blocked, but she's fouled. And that'll put Hillary Worley to the line, shooting 2. Reaching foul going against number 24, Carrie Snyder. And that'll put Worley at the line, shooting 2 for Lewistown. We're tied at 4, 5:19 to play in the first quarter. And boy, the atmosphere of a playoff game here tonight, Joe Pappas.
We talked about the Blackhawk defense in the pregame show. How about the Lewistown defense? They've been swarming everywhere. Jenna Feathers, Heather McElwain, they've been all over the court. And this crowd, if they get into it, it could be a long night for Blackhawk.
Hillary Worley will shoot a pair. 5:19 to play here in the first quarter. And the sophomore's first shot is no good.
Maybe a little nerves, Roger. The other night up at Clarion against Villa Marie, Hillary was 5 for 5 from the free throw line.
And the sophomore ready for the second shot. It is up and good. And Lewistown back in front, 5-4. Blackhawk bringing it up the court. They go far side to Snyder. Snyder out top to Knotts. Knotts comes near side to Gwendola. Gwendola hounded by Feathers. They lob down underneath. That looked like a walk. A very late whistle, and he did call the walk. Good call by the official, although it was probably a second or two late, but Larissa Daly did not dribble and took 2 or 3 steps. So Lewistown gets it after the turnover, and the Lady Panthers with the ball in a 1-point lead. Gingrich dribbling near side, and a reach-in foul against Blackhawk, and DeChellis is irate over that call. Reaching in was Lisa Miller, and Mark DeChellis really marking the officials on that one. Are they going to call that in the act of shooting?
I guess they are, which surprises me. I wasn't even sure Krista was going to shoot that time.
Boy, no wonder he was upset, because this is a gift here. Gingrich will be at the line shooting 2.
Right.
First shot up and good.
Roger, going back defensively for Lewistown. Krista Gingrich sloughing off defensively and double teaming Larissa Daly as they try to get the ball down low. She's being fronted by Heather McElwain.
Second shot by Gingrich, in and out, and the defensive rebound comes down to Larissa Daly. So Blackhawk with the ball. Their first substitution of the ball game now in Rebecca Davison. They lob down low to Davison. She's double teamed, and there's a reach-in foul against Maggie Johnston. Or excuse me, Krista Gingrich whistled for the foul. So first foul of the ball game against Lewistown. Blackhawk has already committed 3. 4:49 to play here in the first quarter. Lewistown leading 6-4.
Defensively, Gingrich matching up with Snyder, but helping out in the paint against Daly.
On the inbound, Blackhawk, a whistle and a traveling violation called against Lisa Miller. Miller is only 5'3", and she tried to take a shot fake, and then move, and she did it without taking a dribble. Good call by the official. Lewistown back with the ball, leading 6-4. Krista Gingrich gives it up top to Johnston. Johnston back to Gingrich. Gingrich driving the baseline, scoop shot, air ball, and the rebound out of bounds to Blackhawk.
Blackhawk with a lot of help side defense on Krista Gingrich. She's been successful beating her man, but there are 2 players in the paint to pick her up when she gets by her man.
So Blackhawk bringing it across the timeline. We're under 4.5 minutes here in the first quarter. They come near side to Snyder. Snyder goes high post to Knotts. Knotts jump shot off rim, no good. Loose ball underneath, and a traveling violation called against Hillary Worley. A lot of contact. Easily could have been a foul against Blackhawk. A lot of contact. Worley ended up falling, and they call her for the travel. So Blackhawk will get the inbound. They go down inside, and shot blocked, but a foul on Hillary Worley. Rebecca Davison will go to the line and shoot 2. That's the old screen the screener play on the inbound. And while Davison does come off the bench, Joe Pappas, she is one of their leading scorers.
Yeah, she provides a spark off the bench. She averages 12 points a game. She's going to be a force down low, as well as Kelly, as well as Larissa Daly, that is.
So Davison at the line. And we've seen Blackhawk go to the bench here also with Jamie Knotts, the twin sister of Jody Knotts, now in the game. Davison at the line misses the first foul shot. Substitution. Larissa Daly checking back into the ball game, and Jody Knotts will get a break. 6-4 our score. Lewistown leading Blackhawk. 4 minutes, 16 seconds left in the first quarter.
As we said in our pregame, expect Blackhawk to go at least 8 deep.
And they missed both foul shots, but they got the rebound. And they go inside and get a layup. Nice assist from Tara Guandola. And Rebecca Davison gets the hoop, and we're tied 6-all. Maggie Johnston in the half court for Lewistown, working one-on-one, forces a jumper, no good, and the rebound to Blackhawk, and a foul against Heather McElwain.
They're going to call a foul against Heather McElwain. She went over the back on that play. She's lucky she didn't get whistled for it before.
And we are seeing definitely some foot speed from Blackhawk that I think Lewistown will get adjusted to, Joel Diamond. Charlie Funk, in fact, said to us he wouldn't be surprised the first couple times they get the ball on a defensive rebound that they get a layup. He thinks they're going to have to take some time to adjust to this team, so we'll see. Under 4 minutes now to play in the first quarter. We're tied at 6. Out top, Guandola comes near side to Miller. Miller dribbling on the baseline, and she dribbled it out of bounds. Nice help from Nikki Snyder. And by the way, Snyder and Zampelli in the ball game for Lewistown, as going to the bench, McElwain and Worley. So Lewistown back with the ball, tied at 6.
We've played 4 minutes, Roger. Lewistown really has not gotten into their half-court offensive patterns.
Maggie Johnston on the far side, hounded there by Miller. They come up top. Krista Gingrich wide open for 3. Yes! She buried it, and Lewistown now leading 9-6.
Give Johnston a lot of credit for finding Gingrich wide open at the arc.
Blackhawk back working the half-court offense. They lob down inside. Lewistown triple teaming the ball, forcing the shot up and in is Rebecca Davison. Impressive work down low right there, Joe Pappas.
Very impressive work, working the triple team, and she banked it in.
Lady Panthers back with the ball in a 1-point lead. Krista Gingrich out top, guarded there by Lisa Miller. Gingrich has about a 4-inch height advantage. Or excuse me, that's Guandola that has her. Zampelli now with the ball in the half court. Pressured out top, ball loose. Snyder runs it down and gets it to Zampelli. Boy, you can see the pressure, Joel Diamond, when Lewistown's forwards get the ball. Blackhawk all over him. Gingrich at the other end, pull up jumper, no good. Long rebound comes down to Blackhawk. Jamie Knotts gives it up to Guandola. Her shot blocked, she gets it back and lays it up and in. And for the first time in the ball game, Blackhawk leads. The Lady Cougars leading Lewistown 10-9. Lewistown goes backdoor to Gingrich. Her shot no good, but she's fouled. And Gingrich will go to the line and shoot 2.
Good pass that time by Jenna Feathers. Gingrich fake getting the ball from Feathers. Great backdoor play. Feathers with the bounce. Crystal will have an opportunity to put Lewistown back in the lead.
Substitutions now. Again, Blackhawk going to that bench often here. And that evidently is their key to success, Joel Diamond. They have rested everybody already at least once.
They're going to rotate a lot of players, and they're playing so aggressively defense, Roger, in the half court. They're not full court pressing, as we wondered if they would do, but they're putting a lot of pressure on the Lewistown girls in the half court.
Krista Gingrich hits the first foul shot. We're tied at 10. Second shot is also good. And Lewistown back in front, 11-10. Blackhawk with the basketball. We're approaching the 2-minute mark here in the opening quarter. Lisa Miller out top, brings it near side, guarded by Maggie Johnston. Off a screen, picks up the dribble, looking for help, gets it from Jody Knotts. Knotts working 1-on-1, and the ball knocked away from behind by Jenna Feathers. Back comes Lewistown with a steal. Gingrich driving through the lane, puts up a running one-hander, no good. And the defensive rebound down to Carrie Snyder. Here comes Blackhawk on the run now. Snyder on the far side, comes out top. Now Guandola, the sophomore, hits a three-pointer. Tara Guandola with the 3. And the lead for Blackhawk is 13-11. Maggie Johnston now with the ball far side, driving inside, gives it up to Feathers. Her shot is up and good, and she's fouled. Jenna Feathers with a reverse pumping layup, put it in, drew the foul, and the junior guard playing big here early, Joe Pappas. She's leading Lewistown right now, not only offensively, but already with 3 steals in the basketball game.
Great athletic move on that play. We're going to see a game unlike the other games we've seen thus far in the postseason. This will not be a blowout.
At the line, Feathers misses the foul shot, and the defensive rebound down to Davison. Here comes Blackhawk. Pass on the near side to Knotts. Knotts trying to go inside, double team, triple team, ball loose on the floor, and now a jump ball called. As Lewistown's doing a great job, Joel Diamond, of not only doubling down, but tripling down when Blackhawk gets the ball in the paint.
Once the ball goes in the paint, any Lewistown girl near the ball is doubling and tripling down, as you said, Roger. That time, good defensive play, a tie-up, Lewistown ball with 1:20 to play in the opening quarter.
Krista Gingrich brings it across midcourt. They go to Zampelli. Out top to Nikki Snyder. Snyder far side to Johnston. Maggie driving in the lane, gives it up to Snyder. Snyder looking for help, still looking, and finds Maggie Johnston. Johnston in the lane with a running one-hander. Up and good. Maggie Johnston gets it to fall. 1 minute to go in the quarter, and Lewistown back in front, 15-13. Lisa Miller, great pass inside to Rebecca Davison, who scores. And we're tied again at 15. Let's see if Lewistown will hold for the last shot of the quarter. Still 44 seconds to play in the quarter, however. Looks like they're going on the attack. Snyder in the corner, out top to Maggie Johnston. Johnston trying to work one-on-one against Miller, gives it up to Jenna Feathers. Feathers dribbles in the lane, ball knocked loose. Snyder in the corner, can't handle it. And the turnover will give it back to Blackhawk. And Lewistown's guards looking a little bit tired here right now, Joel Diamond, as Maggie Johnston and Jenna Feathers both grabbing the shorts. Maybe feeling a little bit of pressure here early. We'll find out. It looks like Blackhawk now will hold for the last shot. We're down to 20 seconds in the quarter, tied at 15. They will run the triangle series out top with the guards. Lisa Miller with the basketball. Now down to 10 seconds. Now look for Blackhawk to run their offense. They go far side to Jody Knotts. Knotts gives it up out top to Davison. Davison driving to the bucket, and an offensive foul. Good call by the official, an offensive foul, as Nikki Snyder was right there, and they call the charge on Davison. More substitutions. You can't go 30 seconds, Joe Pappas, without seeing another Blackhawk player checking in, as they have rotated 10 players here in the first quarter.
That's amazing. It just appears they're going to play everyone, and Lewistown's going to have to deal with that because Lewistown will not play their whole bench.
Maggie Johnston will inbound with 2.4 seconds left in the quarter. Lewistown will have it in the backcourt. Johnston gets it into Gingrich. 2 seconds, one. Krista throws one up from midcourt, and that's the end of quarter number one. 15-15. We are tied at the end of the first quarter. More high school basketball from IUP right after this. Hey, Jim, make this 1 minute.
The thing that I like that they're doing, Roger, is they're pushing them at both ends of the court. I mean, they're not letting them rest defensively. I think he has to bring Hillary in and play two guards.
And I'd like to tell you that refreshments are available in the main lobby. Refreshments are available in the main lobby. And when you exit the field house, please do so at the door opposite the lobby. When you exit the field house, please exit through the door opposite the main lobby.
Chicks 105. We've played one quarter, and we are tied at 15 apiece. Blackhawk will have the first possession of the second quarter. They get it into Lisa Miller, and Miller will run the Lady Cougar offense. They come near side to Gwendola, who drives the baseline, and she is fouled by Maggie Johnston. I am really impressed with Tara Gwendola. I wondered how a 5'2" sophomore would play in this kind of ball game. She doesn't play like she's 5'2", Joe Pappas.
No, she plays like she's about 5'8", 5'9", with no fear driving the baseline, and she was fouled hard by Johnston on that play.
So Gwendola, the sophomore, at the line. She's averaging 10 points a ball game. And Blackhawk will try to take the lead now for the second time in the ball game, and they do. 16-15, the Lady Cougars in front.
What I like about this Blackhawk team, Roger, is their quickness. They're quick defensively and quick offensively.
Second shot by the sophomore is also good. 17-15 in favor of Blackhawk. Lewistown pushing it up on the far side. Krista Gingrich out top with the ball. Guarded there by number 24, Carrie Snyder. Gingrich trying to work one-on-one, gives it up out top to Johnston. And Lewistown trying to free up their guards on the near side, and Johnston, an offensive foul. He signaled an offensive foul, and he is going to call it against Maggie Johnston. I thought, frankly, it should have just been a turnover or a walk. Maggie drove in there, really had nothing happening, tried to force it up, and they called on Johnston. That could be a big foul, Joel Diamond. That's her second.
Really, there wasn't a lot of contact that time, with the exception of Maggie going to the floor.
17-15, Blackhawk with the lead and the basketball. Jody Knotts on the far side, gives it out top to Snyder. Snyder goes down in the corner to Miller. Miller, shot fake, now tries to go down low. They get it underneath to Daly. Her shot no good. Rebound loose on the floor. Jody Knotts, and now still loose, and Blackhawk will retain possession. Boy, what a scrappy ball game. And Blackhawk still with the basketball. We're down to 7 minutes here in the first half. Blackhawk with the ball, leading 17-15. Larissa Daly gives it up out top. Now they go far side to Gwendola, trying to go back down underneath. Ball knocked away by Nikki Snyder. And you can see, Joel Diamond, Blackhawk wanting to go inside.
Blackhawk has attempted to go inside since the opening tap. They continue to try to go downside to Larissa Daly. Lewistown with their help defense, though, down there.
Blackhawk on the inbound gets it into Jody Knotts. Knotts hard to the bucket. Her shot no good. And Jenna Feathers with the rebound. And Lewistown back with the ball. Clock running under 7 minutes here in the first half. Krista Gingrich out top. Fakes a three-pointer and comes near side to Johnston. Maggie guarded there by Guandola, gives it up to Zampelli. Loose ball underneath, and Blackhawk comes out of there with a steal. Lady Cougars on the run. Miller pushing hard, one-on-one all the way to the bucket, and lays it up and in. And Blackhawk with their largest lead of the ball game at 19-15, 6:20 to go in quarter number 2.
Maggie Johnson at the top of the circle working around the defense. Here's Krista Gingrich for three, no good, air ball. Ball is loose, here's Jenna Feathers, and she loses the ball. Larissa Daly coming up with it, and Blackhawk will have possession now. Over to Allison Miller running the point for Blackhawk. Over to the right wing for Guandola. Blackhawk being very patient in their offense. Top of the key to Knotts. Left wing for Miller. Miller pump fakes, now puts up the shot, good. Blackhawk now leads 21-15.
Lisa Miller that time off the fake, hit the jump shot. Lisa Miller already with 9 points for Blackhawk.
Here's Maggie Johnson working the point. Now over to Jenna Feathers, top of the key. Dribbles, now stops. Now over to Gingrich, top of the key. Working against Snyder. Gingrich going to her left. Stops, pops. No good. Fight for the rebound. Gingrich comes up with it. Now dribbles in towards the basket. Lays it up. No good, but drew the foul.
So Krista Gingrich does a nice job of drawing contact there. The Blackhawk faithful not happy with that whistle, but the All-American will go to the line. That's one thing Lewistown has working for them here. They are in the bonus. Trailing now, however, by 6 points, 21-15 with 5:26 to go here in the second quarter. Substitution, Snyder and Zampelli go to the bench. Worley and McElwain back in. And again, the biggest thing I noticed, gentlemen, is the 3 guards for Lewistown look a little bit tired here in the second quarter.
They have not been able to get into the offensive flow that they're used to, not able to get the shots.
And there's the sign right there. Krista Gingrich missing a foul shot.
And Krista, the time before this down the court, Roger, was an air ball, and you rarely see that from Krista.
She does, however, make the second, and Blackhawk back with the ball, leading by 5.
Here's Guandola now running the point for Blackhawk. Lady Cougars coming out in the offense. Guandola looking to pass. She drives to the high post, now over to Snyder. Snyder puts up a shot in the baseline, no good. Fight for the rebound, and it's grabbed by Larissa Daly. Larissa Daly now over to Guandola. Guandola's going to set the offense. Allison Miller is on the bench. Cougars leading 21-16. Here's Knotts now on the left wing. Over to Guandola on the right wing, being guarded by Maggie Johnston. Guandola dribbles to the high post, now stops, brings it back out for Jamie Potts. And Jamie Potts will now go over to Guandola, who will set up the offense once again. Blackhawk being very patient here in the second quarter.
Blackhawk with a lead, Joe. 5-point lead right now. They can take their time and get the shot that they want.
Here's Guandola now, drives on Maggie Johnson, now stops and puts it back out to Jody Potts. Down in for Daly, and she is blocked by Hillary Worley. And Hillary Worley will be called for her foul.
What we're seeing inside, gentlemen, what Lewistown likes to do to people with their guards, Joel Diamond, driving and drawing fouls, we're seeing it the other way for Blackhawk.
Blackhawk that time, very patient offensively, waiting till Larissa Daly flashed open down on the low blocks. They found her. Hillary Worley not with good position that time as she was on her back. As Daly went up for the bucket, she drew the foul.
First shot by Daly is no good. Blackhawk has not done real well here at the line, Joel Diamond, and I would keep giving you substitutions for Blackhawk, but that would take the whole game as they continue to just keep rotating players.
Oh, Roger, you weren't at the Bishop Carroll Belleville Mennonite game that Joe and I were, where Bishop Carroll ran about 33 players in the ball game.
Second shot by Daly is good, and the Blackhawk lead 22-16.
Lewistown pushing the ball up quickly. Maggie Johnson on the right wing being guarded by Miller back in the game. Over to Jenna Feathers on the right corner. Kicks it over to Johnston for a 3. No good. Fight for the rebound, out of bounds. It'll be Blackhawk ball.
And also, Joel Diamond, that three-pointer way downtown. And the amazing thing, guarding the All-American for Lewistown is the sophomore, Tara Guandola, who's been denying her the basketball.
She's denying her the basketball, but Guandola also knows she has 2 girls inside that are there to help her defensively if Krista beats Guandola.
And at the other end, Lisa Miller wanted a foul. Instead, they will call a traveling violation. Good call by the officials. Lewistown helping out on the ball. Miller called for the travel. Lady Panthers get it back. 4:04 to play in the half. Still a 6-point lead for Blackhawk.
Krista Gingrich now running the point for Lewistown. Dribbles to the left wing. And cross-court pass for Feathers on the right wing. She dribbles to the hoop. Now kicks it over to Maggie Johnson, top of the key. Goes left, puts up a running one-hander. No good. A rebound by Daly. Now here comes Blackhawk now. And Daly loses the ball, and we got a whistle on the floor. And we're going to get a foul against Miller.
Ball was stolen by Jenna Feathers. Feathers went hard to the bucket, and reaching in, committing the foul was Lisa Miller. That'll stop the clock with 3:43 to go in the half. We've been sitting at 22-16 for about 2 minutes. A point here where Blackhawk could pull away Joel Diamond, or Lewistown could get it back, and still waiting for a momentum shift. At the line, Jenna Feathers now will shoot 1-1 for the Lady Panthers, and she hits the first.
You know, if you're Kevin Kodesh, you have to be very careful here. You can't let Blackhawk get a double-digit lead here in the first half. You have to keep him in single digits and hopefully get back in this ball game and take the lead.
Second shot by Feathers, up and good, and the lead is cut to 4.
22-18, 3:40 left to go here in the first half. Lisa Miller running the point over the left wing for Guandola, being guarded by Maggie Johnson. Now brings it back out for Daly. Daly to the right wing for Miller, being guarded by Feathers, trying to get it into Davidson. Now Miller will drive baseline, loses the ball out of bounds, and Blackhawk will retain possession, knocked out of bounds by Jenna Feathers.
Good hard work underneath by both teams. Lewistown's bench calling for illegal screens to get their players open, but it's been very physical inside.
This is one game where Jenna Feathers has really stepped it up defensively for Lewistown.
Quick three-pointer for Blackhawk, no good, and now a foul underneath against Blackhawk. It looks like it's going to go against 21, Jamie Knotts, and in the bonus, we will walk to the other end, shooting 1-1.
Looking at the foul situation, Blackhawk with 3 girls with 2 fouls. Jamie Knotts, Lisa Miller, and Carrie Snyder. That could play a key role in this ball game.
Of course, Blackhawk, however, with 7 guards as it is, that they're rotating in and out.
But I'll tell you what, Roger, the Blackhawk offense likes to run with Lisa Miller running the point.
At the line, Krista Gingrich will shoot 1-1. First shot for Gingrich, up and good. 22-19, a 3-point lead for Blackhawk. They have led most of the second quarter.
Lewistown able to nibble into this Blackhawk league at the free throw line as they've connected 4 in a row now.
And that second shot rolls in, and the lead is down to 2.
Allison Miller being guarded by Jenna Feathers. She'll bring it back out and set the offense for Blackhawk. 22-20, Blackhawk leads, 3:09 left to go here in the first half. Here's Davison, top of the key, over to Guandola, looking to drive against Maggie Johnson. Spin, puts it up, and got it.
Unbelievable. This sophomore is impressive. 5'2", and she goes right in the paint and scores. The lead back to 4 for Blackhawk.
Lewistown in the forecourt. Maggie Johnson over to McElwain. McElwain fakes over to Johnson for a 3. No good. Long rebound to Blackhawk. And Lisa Miller. And ball poked away by Jenna Feathers. Mad scramble for the ball, picked up by Daly. Wow, wild sequence there.
Good hustle by both teams. Feathers really doing a nice job in the full court, putting pressure by herself, in fact, on Blackhawk. Lady Cougars now working the ball, and they try to go down inside and throw it away. Pass from Rebecca Davison, too tall. And Lewistown will inbound in the backcourt, trailing by 4, 2:23 to play here in the second.
One thing we've seen from Lewistown the last 2 ball games is the inability to connect on the 3-point shots. They need to do that if they're to win tonight.
Krista Gingrich weaving her way around the defense on the baseline, no good. And ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Blackhawk ball.
And you can see a little bit of the frustration on Krista there. She's really having to work hard on that dribble. Normally she'll get by 1 player and go to the bucket. As Joel Diamond has pointed out quite well, she gets by 1 and there's 2 more waiting. Blackhawk back with the ball, leading by 4.
Here's Davison, top of the key, over to Miller on the right wing, being guarded by Feathers. Now over to Guandola. She'll pull it back out to set the offense. Lewistown in the man defense. 1:50 to go here. Blackhawk leading 24-20. Larissa Daly on the right wing being guarded by Worley. Over to Davidson, top of the key, dribbles to the left side. Over to Guandola on the left wing. Blackhawk being very patient, and we got a foul on the floor.
And they're going to call an illegal screen, I believe, against Blackhawk.
They sure are, and Lewistown will now be in the double bonus.
So true to form, the Panthers getting to the foul line quite a bit, and Lewistown's players coming over almost for every timeout now looking for water and the towel as McElwain and Gingrich come over to the bench. Minute 40 to go in the half. They trail by 4. They've been able to hang in here, and a lot of it coming from the foul line as they have taken a lot of shots here already in the first half. Feathers, again, the double bonus, will shoot 2, and she hits the first.
That is Lewistown's 10th free throw that they've made in this ball game. Jenna Feathers 3 for 3. We don't want to jinx her. Hopefully she'll get this 4th.
And she does. So Blackhawks lead cut to 2. 24-22, a minute and a half left in the second quarter.
Here's Lisa Miller over to the left wing for Jody Knotts. Over to Bennett to Davidson. Miller gets it back along the right wing, being guarded by Feathers. Miller down low to Daly. Triple team, she puts it up. It's good, and she draws the foul.
Boy, that is just fundamental textbook basketball. Little pick and roll play. Miller went off the dribble, lobbed it up. Daly went up strong, got it, got the hoop. The lead is back to 4 for Blackhawk, and Daly will be at the line trying to make it 5.
That is the 3rd foul on Hillary Worley, a big foul against Lewistown. But the key there was Heather McElwain a little slow coming from the help side. Worley had the front on Daly that time. They lobbed it over her head, but she had no back support.
And Zampelli will go in for Worley. And I mentioned a couple of games ago, I think Zampelli, of all the forwards, has been the one showing the most progress here down the stretch, and she will now join McElwain at the line. The foul shot no good, and the defensive rebound to McElwain. Here comes Lewistown on the run. Jenna Feathers on the far side, picks up the dribble to Gingrich. Krista working one-on-one against Miller. Pull up jumper up and in. Excuse me, Guandola on the defense. She tripped and fell, and now Blackhawk throws it away. Lisa Miller trying to run the break on the near side, threw it way over the head of Tara Guandola. Looked like at the other end, Gingrich may have stepped on Guandola's foot. She ended up tripping and falling. Krista pulled up and hit it. And Lewistown now with a chance to tie, trailing 26-24.
Minute 2 left to go in the first half. Maggie Johnson, top of the key for 3, no good. Long rebound to Guandola. Here comes Blackhawk. Running the floor, Tara Guandola against Maggie Johnson now drives, loses the ball, and they're going to call Guandola for a travel. Lewistown will get possession.
So the sophomore showing signs of being a sophomore there. You know, her best thing and her worst thing are the same. She has no fear.
A little bit out of control by Guandola.
What teenager does have fear, Roger?
Lewistown back on offense. McElwain up top, gives it up to Gingrich. Far side to Johnston, working to weave. Jenna Feathers driving all the way to the bucket and lays it up and in, and we are tied at 26. Lewistown has come back to tie it, and now Blackhawk will hold for the last shot of the first half, tied at 26.
For the first, excuse me, Roger, for the first half of the game, Jenna Feathers is playing her career game tonight.
Now working the triangle weave out top. Blackhawk will hold for the last shot. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Lisa Miller out top of the ball. Working one-on-one, drives to the bucket. Ball knocked away and loose. Jenna Feathers with a steal, and now they're going to call a trip against Lisa Miller, and that's going to be her 3rd foul. Huge, huge call in the game, and a good call by the official. Miller, in frustration, looked like she actually reached up and tripped her intentionally. The Panther crowd calling for an intentional foul, but not called by the officials. Big play there, as Blackhawk was hoping to at least go into the locker room with a tie. But now Lewistown with a chance to be in front, as Jenna Feathers will be at the line. Gina Socio checks in with 2 seconds left in the half for Maggie Johnston.
Good move that time by Kevin Kodich. Maggie has played almost the whole second quarter with 2 fouls. She has not picked up her 3rd foul, and Socio in for the last 2 seconds to prevent Maggie from picking up that 3rd foul.
Jenna Feathers at the line, shooting a pair, and she hits it. And Lewistown back in front, 27-26 with 2 seconds left in the first half.
Boy, Lewistown on the free throw line, they've been on fire all game.
She misses the second, and that ends the half. But Lewistown has come back. The Lady Panthers were down by as many as 6. They head to the locker room trailing by 1. We'll be back with more from IUP right after this. Live to the campus of the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Roger Hertel, Billy Joel Diamond, Joe Pappas, and Statman with you at the half. What a first half we have seen. Lady Panthers trailing. I think the most they trailed by was 6. And now at the half, they go to the locker room leading by 1. They've done it primarily by getting to the foul line in that second quarter. Joel Diamond, as I look at your scorecard, nothing but filled in circles for Lewistown in quarter number 2. In fact, the Lady Panthers, if I read your scorecard correctly, had just 2 field goals.
2 field goals in the second quarter, 8 free throws for their 12 points in the second quarter. Lewistown with 12 points from the free throw line out of 27 points. Not a lot of field goals for Lewistown, and only 1 triple this evening.
And the thing that is surprising, I think, for us up here, Joe Pappas, is this defense for Blackhawk. We knew it would be good. We heard about full court pressure. In fact, that's all Kevin Kodish told us was this full court pressure. We've yet to see it. All we've seen is half court pressure from Blackhawk. You got to wonder what's going to happen in the second half for both teams. Will Lewistown come out with their press that they like to use? Can Blackhawk turn it up any more than they already have and go into their full court pressure?
We have not seen Lewistown really apply the pressure defensively. And this Blackhawk club, what can you say about Miller and Guandola? They kind of both look the same, and they're playing incredible. I mean, Guandola with those drives to the hoop. Miller's got 3 fouls, though. We have to remember that.
Right.
I don't care how many people they rotate in. Miller is one of their best players.
Certainly is, and that foul at the end of the half, I'm sure her head coach Mike DeChellis is talking to her about that, Joel Diamond. What a silly foul with 2 seconds to go. You basically gave Lewistown a point there, and your best player picks up her 3rd foul.
And that could be a key to this ball game. We were talking about the pressure, Roger, a little bit ago, you and Joe talking. I don't expect to see Lewistown in full court pressure unless they fall behind in the 4th quarter. I don't think they can stay up with Blackhawk offensively if they go full court pressure defensively. I think they're going to expend too much energy. I think they have to stay in the half court game. And I'm not sure Blackhawk can pressure Lewistown full court also, because I think Lewistown can get some numbers then in the front court where the guards, especially Krista Gingrich, Maggie Johnston, will not be double teamed once they beat their man out front.
Point well taken. I think the biggest thing there is Lewistown their guards look tired leaving the floor. I think they definitely were tired. They should be. They had to work very hard out there. And I agree, if they have to press on top of that, I think that'd be asking quite a bit. We are at the half. It's a 1-point lead for your Lady Panthers, 27-26. The winner advances to the Final Four to take on West Mifflin. The Lady Titans of West Mifflin winning earlier today, 57-51 over Canavan Catholic out of Pittsburgh. So West Mifflin awaits the winner of this game next Wednesday at a site and time to be announced. We'll be back with more on the halftime show from IUP right after this. Welcome back again live to IUP. We are high above courtside. You're listening to postseason basketball on WCHX FM 105.5 in Lewistown. Joel Diamond, Joe Pappas, Statman, and Roger Herto, yours truly here at the half, where Lewistown is now back on the court. The Lady Cougars of Blackhawk also back out as both teams prepare for the second half. Joel Diamond, if we see a second half like the first one, we're in for a dandy finish. Let's run down the scoring in the first half. Most of it, as you mentioned, for Lewistown scoring-wise, coming at the foul line.
Coming at the foul line, Krista Gingrich and Jenna Feathers have split 22 points for Lewistown in the first half. Gingrich with 6 free throws of her 11. Feathers with 5 free throws with her 11 points. They're making up the majority of the 27 points for the Lady Panthers.
And mostly foul shots from the field, Joe Pappas. Lewistown having trouble mainly from that Blackhawk pressure. How many times would you look and see Gingrich and Johnston combined 3 for 14 from the floor?
Without those free throws, they could be in big trouble in this game. But hey, the great teams make those foul shots. They get the opportunity. They're knocking down the shots. Gingrich and Johnston have to step up here in the second half.
Quickly, Joel, before we send it back for break, the scoring for Blackhawk.
Blackhawk is led by Lisa Miller with 9 points. Miller also, as Joe mentioned earlier, has 3 fouls, so we'll have to watch that. She is the person that makes Blackhawk go. She's followed by Tara Wandola, the 2 guards. She has 8, so they have 17 of the Blackhawk 26 points.
And again, the other difference in the game is the foul line. Blackhawk just 3 of 4 at the line. Lewistown 12 of 17. We'll take a commercial break and we'll be back to start the second half. The Lady Panthers lead by 1. We'll return to IUP right after this.
Double A boys quarterfinals, Equipa 75, Windber 46, and George Junior Republic 67, Shady Side Academy 52. Triple A girls, West Mifflin 57, Canada 51. Pittsburgh 2, Buffalo 1.
You can
Here at IUP, there will be a single game. It'll be the
for the
Quad A Western Final in girls match when Altoona meets the Eastport. Game time will be 7 o'clock Tuesday night here at IUP Memorial Field House.
at IUP, the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. 16 minutes left. Number 1 Lewistown taking on number 2 Blackhawk. That's how the Harrisburg Patriot News has them ranked in Pennsylvania. And right now, you couldn't argue with the rankings. Number 1 holding a 1-point lead over number 2. In 16 minutes, one of these teams will go home. One will advance to the Final Four to take on our good buddy Phil Shar and the Lady Titans of West Mifflin. Lewistown will have the first possession of the third quarter. Jenna Feathers set to inbound and looking for help, still looking, and gets it into Johnston, and we're underway. Maggie Johnston will now run the point on the opening possession. She is now guarded by Guandola as Blackhawk has now switched on Gingrich. Krista now runs a give and go with Heather McElwain. Pull-up jumper, yes! Heather McElwain hits the opening shot of the second half, and Lewistown's lead is back to 3. On offense, Blackhawk down inside. Now they kick outside. A whistle and a traveling violation called against number 23, Jody Knotts. So Blackhawk starting a little shaky. Lewistown with a 3-point lead, and Joe Diamond, this is a quarter that Lewistown has owned the last 2 years.
This is my favorite time of the game with the Lewistown Lady Panthers. Let's check the score at the end of 3 minutes here in the third quarter, see what it is.
Johnston goes to McElwain in the high post, back out to Feathers. She gives up to Gingrich. Krista working one-on-one, driving all the way to the paint. No good, and a foul called from behind on Carrie Snyder. And that will put Gingrich to the line, shooting 2.
That is Carrie's third foul also, so Blackhawk in a little bit of foul trouble here early in the third quarter.
First foul of the second half. Clock stop with 7 minutes and 19 seconds to play here in the third. 29-26. Lewistown by 3, make it 4 as Gingrich hits the first of 2.
Krista Gingrich can make a living at the foul line, Roger. That is her 7th free throw this evening.
Second shot by Gingrich, also up and good. And Lewistown now leading by 5. Blackhawk with the ball. Lisa Miller will bring it across the timeline, guarded by Jenna Feathers. They run a double screen on the near side for Guandola. Instead go far side to Snyder. Snyder working against McElwain, kicks out top. Now they come near side. Miller open for 3, in and out, but they get the offensive rebound. Gingrich reaches her hand in and knocks it away. Boy, that ball halfway down in, Joe Pappas, and came back out.
A couple of tight rims we got here at the IUP Fieldhouse.
On the inbound, Blackhawk to Miller. Miller, shot fake, pull-up jumper on the baseline, no good. Rebound in the far corner, out of bounds, and it'll be Lewistown ball. Last touch by Jody Knotts.
That time Miller tried the jump shot. I don't think she's effective, Roger, off the dribble and the jump shot. Lewistown, though, has to guard her closely to prevent that 3-point attempt.
5-point lead for the Lady Panthers. They also have the ball. Gingrich, pull-up jumper, up and in, and Krista Gingrich with another 2, and Lewistown with their largest lead of the ball game, 33-26. Timeout, Blackhawk. Will return to IUP right after this. Joe Pappas, Roger Hurto, Billy Joel Diamond, and Statman back at IUP, where the Lady Panthers have come out on fire in the third quarter. They now have their largest lead, 33-26, and Blackhawk will inbound at midcourt. They get it into Larissa Daly, and Daly may have traveled there. No whistle, though, and they give it up to Lisa Miller. Miller working one-on-one now against Feathers. Pass near side to Snyder. Snyder running a pick and roll. Now picked up by Johnston. They go in the corner to Lisa Miller. Miller guarded there by Worley, picks up the dribble, kicks back out to Guandola. And the Lady Panthers digging in on defense now, playing real hard here in this third quarter. Guandola, the sophomore, picks it up, and a reach-in foul against Krista Gingrich out top. That'll be the second foul on Gingrich, and Blackhawk will get it inbound. And they're going to say underneath. Foul was committed above the three-point line, but instead they will give the ball to Blackhawk under their own bucket. 6:06 to play in the third. Blackhawk trails Lewistown 33-26. On the inbound, they free up inside wide open, and laying it up and in is Jody Knotts. Blackhawk doing a nice job on their inbound plays, and now nearly a steal in the backcourt. Guandola knocked it away, but Gingrich ran it down, and Lewistown with the ball, leading by 5. Krista forces a shot at the foul line, in and out, and they're going to call another foul against Blackhawk, and the Blackhawk players looking at each other like what was that? Mark DeCellis now pleading his case with the officials, but Gingrich will go to the line and shoot 2.
Gingrich is going to take all she can get, Roger. She is adept at picking up fouls. We've said that in her career, her 4-year career here at Lewistown, and she will penetrate and she'll draw the foul somehow.
At the line, Gingrich misses the first of 2. 33-28, the lead 5 for Lewistown with 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Second shot for Gingrich is good. So the Lady Panther lead back to 6 points. Lisa Miller with the ball for Blackhawk, quickly pushing it up court. Going far side to Guandola. Now they swing to Knotts, near side to Snyder. Snyder out top to Guandola. Guandola inside, kicks back outside. 3-point shot, in and out. Offensive rebound, however, for Blackhawk. They missed the putback. Jody Knotts could not put it in, and Lewistown with the ball. Krista across midcourt working the offense for the Lady Panthers, dribbling into the corner, pull-up jumper on the baseline, no good. And there's an over-the-back foul against Hillary Worley, and that's going to be the 4th on Worley. Worley picking up her 4th foul there. Boy, good box-out position that time by Larissa Daly. And that'll be all for Worley, at least here in the third quarter, as with 4 fouls, Andy Zampelli comes to the table, and she will replace Hillary.
Krista is being triple teamed. That time, Roger, she went to the baseline. There were 3 Blackhawk girls following her. She's got to find the open man. Lewistown has to break some cutters to the bucket, possibly for some easy lay-ins.
Clock running, 5:20 to play here in the third. Blackhawk with the ball, trailing in the ball game as Lewistown leads 34-28. Pick and roll in the high post. Lisa Miller driving all the way to the bucket, misses the layup, and Gingrich with a rebound. Outlet pass to Johnson. Lewistown on the run, but Maggie has a hard time with the ball now, runs it down, tries to penetrate in the corner. Double team, back out to Feathers. Jenna may have gotten away with a walk, gives it up to Gingrich. Krista for 3, no good. They bang for the rebound. Zampelli misses the putback, and the defensive board cleared by Larissa Daly, and Feathers with a steal. Feathers shot blocked, but Feathers steals it again. But now it's loose, and Blackhawk back with the ball. Boy, Jenna Feathers all over the floor, could not convert, but what hustle by the junior. And Blackhawk throws it away. Lisa Miller trying to go inside, just threw it away. A 1-person press tonight, Joe Pappas, for Lewistown, and it's been effective.
Jenna Feathers being all over this court, causing havoc. Blackhawk looks out of sync right now, Roger. They've had 3 missed opportunities offensively.
And this is what we were waiting for now. Blackhawk now will crank up the full court pressure a little bit. They are at least going to try and deny the Lewistown guards, but the Lady Panthers do get it in to Maggie Johnston. Johnston will bring it across the timeline, guarded there by Snyder. Baseline pass to Gingrich. Krista's scoop shot no good, and the defensive rebound cleared by Rebecca Davison. Blackhawk back with the ball, still trailing by 6. Pull-up jumper in the corner is short, but they get the offensive rebound. Davison, a walk. Oh my goodness. I did not see that, but they call it travel against Rebecca Davison.
Dan Gales with the call that time is Krista Gingrich going to get a little rest as she comes to the sideline to sit beside Kevin Kodish. With a 6-point lead, Roger, Kevin Kodish trying to get his guards a little bit of rest here.
Maggie Johnston out top of the ball. Has 3 big players now in the lineup for Lewistown in Snyder, McElwain, and Zampelli. Look for Blackhawk to probably try and press this group now as well. Lewistown taking their time on offense. Johnston goes in the corner to Feathers. Feathers forces the baseline, throws it away. Loose ball run down by Blackhawk. Carrie Snyder gives it up to Miller. Instead, Guandola drives to the bucket, and misses the shot. Rebound, put back up and in, and they're going to say no shot and a foul. And this is where Lewistown on offense, we saw a turnover there, is probably going to have some trouble with these 3 post players.
Well, this is a situation, Roger, where I think you need to consider using some timeouts to keep your guards in the ball game. Kevin Coder still with all his timeouts left in the game.
But I tell you, being a coach myself, especially in a tight game like this, I'm ahead. I'd rather save those.
Let's use that word, coach,
crucial
loosely.
minutes.
Can we use that word, coach, loosely?
Blackhawk on the inbound. They throw it away. Stolen by Jenna Feathers. Feathers all the way to the other end. Missed the layup. Jenna was trying to draw the foul and missed the layup.
Instead of going right for the bucket that time, as you said, Jenna was looking for the 3-point play and didn't get anything.
Blackhawk inside Davison with a shot, no good. They get the rebound, score it, and a foul. Carrie Snyder with the offensive rebound and the putback, and Blackhawk has cut the Lewistown lead to 4.
All the big people for Blackhawk wreaking havoc down low. You got Snyder, Davison, and Daly. They're definitely a big-time force to reckon with, and now Lewistown might be having some trouble.
Well, Gingrich will go back in. McElwain heads to the bench. So the Lewistown lineup: Feathers, Gingrich, Johnston, Snyder, and Zampelli. At the line, Carrie Snyder will try to complete the 3-point play. This crew, I will say, has had better games. I think they've been very inconsistent with their officiating in this one so far. At the line, way off with a foul shot is Snyder. Loose ball, they tie it up, and the alternating possession arrow will give it to Blackhawk.
So Blackhawk now with an opportunity for a 4 or 5-point play. Has a 3-point. Lewistown a little slow getting the rebound that time.
Blackhawk will inbound under their own bucket. They've been effective on these inbound plays tonight. And they get it in the near corner to Snyder. Snyder tries to go down low to Davison. Good play by Zampelli to knock it away and make the steal. And Lewistown back with the ball. Leading 34-30, 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Jenna Feathers left open for 3, no good. And the defensive rebound ripped down by Carrie Snyder. Here comes Blackhawk, 2-on-2. Miller shakes and bakes to the bucket with a left hand, misses the layup. And Gingrich with a rebound. Back comes Lewistown as we go end to end. Krista Gingrich driving the lane. And a foul against Blackhawk. And that'll put Gingrich to the line shooting 2. And looking at Mark DeCellis, he's calling for the forearm of Gingrich initiating the contact. And they're not going to, I can't believe this. They are giving Lewistown an inbound. If that's a foul, it had to be in the act of shooting.
Well, that's a makeup foul for the other Krista Gingrich where she went and shot 2, where she wasn't. Interesting, though, also right now, Hillary Worley back in the ball game with 4 fouls.
Lewistown gets the inbound. I don't know how that's not a shooting foul for Gingrich. Maggie Johnston out top with the ball for the Lady Panthers. Ball knocked away, loose on the floor. Could have been a foul. My goodness, they're letting them kill each other out there. Snyder, oh my goodness, a jump ball. And this officiating crew, I'm telling you, it's a good crew, but they're having the worst game I've seen them have in years. Johnston was clearly fouled, nothing called. Blackhawk with a steal, and then Snyder just jumped right on top of a Blackhawk player, and nothing called. These gentlemen better take control of this basketball game. We've got a lot still to play. Gingrich knocked away and stolen from behind. Loose ball, another collision. Still nothing called. Blackhawk with the ball. They're going to get a layup and a bucket.
I don't know what these officials are seeing. This is just ridiculous.
This is unbelievable here, but it looks like no blood, no foul in the 3rd quarter.
And we haven't seen any blood as no girls have gone to the bench with the blood rule.
Lewistown with the ball. Krista Gingrich on the near side. The Lewistown lead has been cut to 2. Gingrich kicks in the corner to Maggie Johnston. Johnston dribbles into the high post, gives it up to Snyder. Back to Johnston. She launches a 3. It is short, and the rebound down to Blackhawk. Here come the Lady Cougars with the ball, trailing by 2. Guandola on the far side kicks up high to Knotts. Knotts down low, wide open, and it's a tie ball game. Blackhawk on a run, and they have tied it 34-34. So Blackhawk answering the Lewistown run. A minute and a half to go here in the 3rd.
The Lewistown coaches signal for the motion offense this time.
Krista Gingrich up top with a basketball, working one-on-one against Guandola, forces a shot, it's no good, the long rebound and a foul against Lewistown. And the momentum, Joe Diamond, starting to shift a little bit here. And I blame some of it, I'm sorry, on these officials. I know as a broadcaster, we're told we can't criticize the PIAA. This has been horrible. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back at IUP right after this. Back live at IUP, you're listening to the postseason basketball tournament on WCHX, FM 105.5 in Lewistown. We are tied at 34-34 with 1:23 to go in the third quarter. After the timeout, Blackhawk with the ball with a chance to regain the lead. Tara Guandola out top working the ball. Lisa Miller now on the bench for Blackhawk getting a breather. Or no, I'm sorry, she is in the game on the far side, excuse me. Miller has the ball working one-on-one against Johnston, picks up the dribble. Maggie all over. Now she's double teamed in the corner. Ball knocked to bounds off Hillary Worley. And it'll be Blackhawk basketball. Boy, Blackhawk fortunate there as Miller was hounded. Boy, both teams. Just extreme effort on defense, Joe Pappas.
Great defense by Maggie Johnston all over Miller. It looked like she was going to lose it a couple times there, but Blackhawk still has the possession.
Blackhawk gets it in on the inbound on the far side to Miller. Under 1 minute now and counting in the third quarter.
Roger, I don't think I'd like Hillary Worley in the ball game at this time with 4 fouls. Hillary, a good free throw shooter for Lewistown, somebody you'd like down the stretch.
We're down to 45 seconds now and counting. See if Blackhawk may hold for the last shot. Instead, they just continue to keep working the offense. Lisa Miller drives all the way through the baseline. Now back to Miller. Miller left open for 3, no good. And the rebound down to Maggie Johnston. Here comes Lewistown on the run. Hillary Worley going to the bucket with a left hand, and she hits it. What a strong move by Hillary Worley, and Lewistown back in front, 36-34. Lisa Miller goes far side with it to Knotts. Jamie Knotts picks up the dribble, kicks out top to Snyder. Snyder guarded by Snyder. Carrie Snyder of Blackhawk, Nikki Snyder of Lewistown. Screen into high post, all the way to the bucket, layup, no good. Offensive rebound and a foul against Lewistown. And if that's on Gingrich, that's her third. They're going to call the foul on Krista Gingrich. Rebound by Rebecca Davison and the foul on the All-American. And
it's with no time left on the clock either.
She will shoot foul shots as the time had expired, but she will get to go to the line and shoot 2. Rebecca Davison shooting 2 and misses the first. 36-34. The lead was 1 point for Lewistown going into the third quarter, and it will be 1 point going into the fourth. 36-35. We'll be back with the fourth quarter from IUP right after this. Pennsylvania. Lady Panthers trying to defend their PIAA state championship, and it's hard to believe that the next 2 games, if they get through this one, could live up to this one, Joel Diamond. Many people pointed to this as the state championship game. We may be seeing it here tonight.
The only difference is we expected it to be Wednesday night, but Blackhawk upset in the district playoffs in District 7 by South Park, having to come back as the third-place team, meeting Lewistown in the Western semifinals.
Blackhawk will have the first possession of the fourth quarter. They have the ball trailing by 1. Guandola, the sophomore, fouled out top by Jenna Feathers. So Blackhawk will get the inbound on the near side. Statman with the amazing stat of the third quarter, Joel Diamond.
And what is that stat?
The guard trio of Gingrich, Johnston, and Feathers combined to go 1 for 8 from the floor in the third quarter. That might be good news, however, considering the fact that they still have a 1-point lead despite that. In the bonus now, I should point out, is Blackhawk, as Lewistown over the limit, and this you never see. Lewistown over the limit, and Blackhawk has committed just 3 fouls, and the first foul shot up and good by Tara Guandola.
That'll happen when you start getting tired also, because you start reaching more instead of moving your legs.
Second shot for Guandola is also good, and Blackhawk has regained the lead. The Lady Cougars leading Lewistown 37-36 with 7:45 to play in the ball game. Maggie Johnston on the near side for the Lady Panthers, gives it up to Feathers. Jenna in the near corner, skip pass to Gingrich, dangerous pass, but she gets it back to Feathers for 3. It is short, but the offensive rebound to Worley. Worley's put back, no good, and the defensive rebound comes down to Jody Knotts. Blackhawk with the ball, leading by 1. What drama at IUP. Near side, Guandola, the sophomore, goes far side with it to Knotts. Knotts gives it up to Daly. Daly back out top. They swing the horn now. Look down low. They get her open. Shot blocked by McElwain. Back up again. Score it and a foul. Good second effort. Good second and third effort by Larissa Daly. McElwain had a nice block on the first one, but couldn't recover for the second. And Daly will try to complete the 3-point play. The lead for Blackhawk is 2 points.
The problem with that there, Roger, is Daly flashed to the low post. McElwain behind her. She got the first shot. McElwain had to make a great play for the block. Daly with inside position got the putback.
Second shot was good, and the lead for Blackhawk is, 4 points, 40-36. Lewistown on offense. Maggie Johnston on the far side. Blackhawk now going back to the sophomore guarding Gingrich. Guandola hounding Krista underneath. Jenna Feathers to the bucket. Oh my goodness. Up and in for 2. I don't know how she did it, but Jenna looked like she was going to be stuffed and forced it in the bucket. Lewistown cuts the lead to 2. It's 40-38 Blackhawk. Guandola with the ball, giving it up to Snyder. Snyder pulls it out top, guarded by Worley. 6.5 minutes to play. Guandola working one-on-one against Feathers. Kicks in the corner to Jody Knotts. Knotts guarded by Gingrich. Krista with a reach in. Dangerous, but knocked away and stolen by Maggie Johnston. Lewistown on the run. Johnston all the way to the bucket, and she scores. We are tied at 40-40 with 6:15 to play.
That's Maggie's first 2 points since the opening quarter tonight. She has 4 for the Panthers.
Blackhawk on offense. Jody Knotts out top. Now they swing far side. Miller wide open, but her shot is no good. And the rebound to Maggie Johnston. Johnston in the backcourt, pushing it across midcourt. Jenna Feathers misses the pass. Out of bounds. It'll be Blackhawk basketball. Maggie Johnston with a beautiful pass from midcourt, but it went right through the wickets of Jenna Feathers. So the turnover gives it back to Blackhawk. 5:56 to play in the fourth quarter. This is what postseason basketball is all about.
Great open court pass that time by Maggie Johnston. Feathers just couldn't come up with it, but the Panthers and Blackhawk dead even with under 6 minutes to play.
Lisa Miller with the ball as Blackhawk works the half-court offense. Miller guarded by Johnston, goes far side to Guandola. Guandola working one-on-one, kicks out top to Daly. Daly near side to Miller. Miller working a pick and roll, kicks back out wide open for 3. Carrie Snyder in and out. And what do we have? We have a foul against Blackhawk. Looked like Worley and McElwain both had the ball in their hands for Lewistown, but they called a reach-in foul from behind. I thought they were going to call a walk for a second against Lewistown because both players had the ball. Instead, they call a reach-in against Blackhawk. So Lewistown will have it in the backcourt. 5.5 minutes to play in the ball game, tied at 40. And again, the sophomore, Guandola, guarding Gingrich full court. Everybody else picking up in the half court.
Look at the foul situation. It could be key. Blackhawk with only 4 team fouls. in the second half.
Krista Gingrich picks up the dribble, skip pass near side to Maggie Johnston. Johnston falling down, pick up shot, no good. Falling down was Lisa Miller. Johnston was left open but missed the 15-footer, and Blackhawk back with the ball. Guandola, low entry pass and a reach in and a steal by McElwain. McElwain with a steal, outlet pass to Johnston, and back comes Lewistown. Maggie gives it up to Worley. Hillary wide open, misses the jumper, and the rebound to Guandola. Now Carrie Snyder pushing it up the court. Snyder inside, and a traveling violation called against Blackhawk.
I'll tell you what, Roger, Kevin Kodish needs to take a timeout, and he's going to do it because his girls are tired.
Timeout Lewistown, 4:51 to play. We are tied at 40. We'll be back at IUP.
One-handers in the paint. On the outside of the court.
Well, they're getting many shots.
As you said it, that's what postseason.
Four minutes and 51 seconds left in the ball game. Back live at IUP. We are tied at 40. Lewistown will have an inbound in the backcourt. And they get it into Maggie Johnston, who is guarded by Lisa Miller. Lewistown with the ball, again deadlocked at 40. Johnston working against Miller. Goes far side to Jenna Feathers. Feathers out top to Gingrich. Again, still guarded by the sophomore. Feathers left open for three. In and out. Rebound, Worley. Her putback is no good, but she's fouled. And Hillary Worley will go to the line and shoot two big foul shots here with 4.5 minutes to go.
One of the few times this afternoon, Roger, or this evening, I should say, that Lewistown has gotten an offensive rebound and an opportunity for the putback.
Worley, two big foul shots, needless to say, with 4.5 minutes to play. 40-40 is our score. First shot for the Lady Panthers sophomore is no good. A little bit strong off the back rim.
I know we only have 4:33 left to go in the game, but that's a lot of time, and it just seems like this crowd is living and dying with every possession. This is, like you said before, this is what playoff basketball is.
Worley hits the second foul shot, and the Lady Panthers back in front, 41-40. Blackhawk with the ball, coming near side to Carrie Snyder. Snyder drives the lane all the way to the bucket, missed the layup, loose ball underneath. Feathers has it, knocked away and off Blackhawk. It'll be Lewistown ball. Good hustle by Jenna Feathers. She jumped in the air, threw it off Carrie Snyder. Snyder tried to run it down, couldn't. And Lewistown will have it back with a 1-point lead. Maggie Johnston on the inbound, 3-on-3. Johnston pushing up the court, ball knocked away, but goes right to McElwain. Inside to Worley, ball knocked away, but off Blackhawk. Boy, Blackhawk had a golden opportunity to steal there, but it went off the hands of Carrie Snyder. Gingrich tried to knife a pass through the paint. It was deflected, and Lewistown gets the inbound under their own bucket. Worley looking for help, and it's deflected out of bounds off Blackhawk. Good hustle by Larissa Daly, and now Lewistown inbounds on the far side. 4 minutes, 9 seconds to play. Lady Panthers leading by a point. They get it into Krista Gingrich. Gingrich working one-on-one. Forces a jumper, no good, and the defensive rebound to Blackhawk. They push it up. Guandola to the other end, but she loses it, and it's a steal. Krista Gingrich wide open, and Lewistown throws it away. This will be a battle of attrition. Both teams exhausted on the floor. Up and down we've gone. Turnovers you don't normally see. And Blackhawk back with the ball, still trailing by one with 3:50 to play. Lisa Miller out top, comes near side to Daly. Daly out top with it to Snyder. Snyder looking down low to Miller. Miller with a head fake, working one-on-one now down low, inside, shot missed by Blackhawk. Davison missed a wide open shot, and now a jump ball, and the alternating possession arrow gives it to Lewistown. Blackhawk getting very high percentage shots in the paint, but unable to connect. Davison really missed a wide open one there, Joe Pappas.
They've missed a lot of opportunities. They should be up in this game, but right now they're only down by 1.
Lewistown nursing a 1-point lead, 3.5 minutes to go. Lady Panthers trying to defend their state championship. Jenna Feathers near side trying to find Krista Gingrich, but it's stolen. Blackhawk 3-on-1. Guandola misses the layup. Offensive rebound, miss it. Another rebound, a foul, and they'll go to the line and shoot 2, and that's it for Hillary Worley. Hillary Worley has just fouled out of the ball game with 3 minutes and 11 seconds to play. Big foul there. You know, I was going to say, Blackhawk, I guess, would take that. I think they thought they were fouled on the first or second shot, but instead they get the foul on the third shot. Unfortunately for Lewistown, they would have probably taken the foul earlier, but it ends up being against Worley. She's out of the ball game.
And a key, Roger, that is the 9th team foul against Lewistown. Daly will shoot 2 this time, and Blackhawk in a double bonus for the remainder of the game. Blackhawk has only committed 5 team fouls. Lewistown will not be in the bonus yet.
I don't know if Statman can get me this stat or not. Daly at the line misses the first foul shot, but it appears as though Blackhawk has gone stone cold in the second half. We'll see if we can get their field goal percentage for the 2 recent quarters. At the line, she missed both foul shots. Loose ball, Blackhawk with a rebound. Back to Davis, she goes to the bucket, and a traveling violation. Boy, Blackhawk really feeling the pressure. I think the Lady Cougars are really feeling pressure here down the stretch. Uncharacteristically missing shots they made early, and another traveling violation there. So Lewistown back with the ball. They'll inbound in the backcourt. With 3 minutes to play in the game, they lead 41-40.
But they're surely holding up their end on the defensive end, as Lewistown unable to score either to get ahead in this ball game by more than a point.
Maggie Johnston for 3. It is short. Probably not the shot they wanted that time. And Lisa Miller back with the ball. Blackhawk knocked away and stolen by McElwain. And here comes Lewistown again. Maggie Johnston pushing it up the court, loose ball, and a reach-in foul against Blackhawk. And that's going to be Lisa Miller, and that'll be her 4th foul. And that will also, well, no, they're not in the bonus yet. I stand corrected. The next time they'll be at the bonus. Blackhawks so far in the second half, 5 of 18. 5 of 18. And the first half, they were shooting about a 50% clip. So the shooting has gone cold, and now a foul on the inbound and a holding foul against Blackhawk on the inbound play. And that will put Lewistown to the foul line. And they call it against the sophomore, Tara Guandola. That will put Gingrich to the line, shooting 1-1.
So a big change here. Lewistown going from ready to put Blackhawk in the double bonus and having 2 fouls needed to be committed against them to Gingrich shooting 1-on-1, trying to increase this 1-point advantage.
First shot by Gingrich is good.
I agree with what you said earlier, Roger. I think Blackhawk is really starting to feel the pressure. A lot of those missed shots have been easy layups that you, Joel, or maybe even I could make.
I don't know about me, probably you guys, but not me. At the line, Gingrich hits it, and the Lady Panther lead is back to 3 points. Lewistown hoping to get a stop here, and then you might see them go into their delay game with 2.5 minutes to play. Blackhawk with the ball in the half court, trailing by 3. Out top, wide open with Snyder. She's thought about a 3-pointer, instead went far side corner to Miller. Down low, inside, and McElwain with a steal. Reached in and took it away, and Lewistown with the ball. Maggie Johnston for 3. It is short. And the rebound down to Lisa Miller. Blackhawk with the ball in the backcourt. We're down to 2 minutes to play. A 3-point lead for Lewistown.
You typically don't talk about Lewistown for their defense, but their defense has put them where they are right here tonight.
Carrie Snyder. Now they swing near side to Lisa Miller. Miller driving inside, ball knocked away by Gingrich. Steal by Krista. And look for Lewistown to maybe work the clock. Instead, Gingrich pull-up jumper. Yes! Lewistown leads by 5, and a timeout, Blackhawk. We'll be back at IUP right after this.
you need.
A reminder, when you exit the drill house, please do so the doors opposite.
Early hour ball game's going to hurt us. Don Nelson, come through.
If you can hear us, we are back live at IUP. Deafening is the sound level as the Lady Panther faithful see their club in front by 5 with 1:37 to go. Lewistown doing it with defense here in this fourth quarter as Blackhawk is going stone cold, and Lewistown leading by 5. 1:30 to go in the game. Critical possession here for Blackhawk. Lisa Miller across midcourt. Down to 1:25 to go. Looking for a screen. Instead, they go far side to Guandola. Guandola, the sophomore, gives it up to Daly, the only senior on this Blackhawk club. They swing near side to Miller. Miller guarded by Johnston. We're now approaching 1:10 to play. Down low inside, a foul, and going to the line will be Larissa Daly, who has not shot too well, I don't believe, at the line. So,
Daly, excuse me, Roger. Daly is 1 for 4 from the free throw line tonight, and your
assumption
statement there. Now, it wasn't an assumption. It was a statement, and it was a good statement.
Daly will shoot 2. 1:10 to go. 4 fouls now on Heather McElwain. At the line, no good.
Got to make those foul shots.
Roger, one thing here. She's missed her free throws, but they've been able to get some offensive boards with her missing those free throws. The key.
Second shot is up and good. And the lead is 4 points. 45-41. Full court trap now by Blackhawk. Lewistown has a 2-on-1. Jenna Feathers goes all the way to the bucket, misses the layup, and it's going to be Blackhawk ball. Probably not the shot that Lewistown wanted, as Kevin Kodish telling him to slow it down. I think we'll see Lewistown, if they get the ball here, go into their delay game. The lead is 4 points, 45-41. Blackhawk with the ball. Clock running, under 50 seconds to play. Out top, Guandola thinks about a 3, instead drives inside. What a great pass to Davison, who scores. And the lead is cut to 2. Lewistown with the ball, leading 45-43. Under 40 seconds and counting. Maggie Johnston with the ball, drives inside and has her shot blocked. Oh my goodness, a foul. A foul against Blackhawk. I really didn't see a foul, and I tell you what, I don't know what Maggie was thinking about. Maybe she thought they were behind. It's hard to believe that she would make the play she just made.
That's a careless move by Johnston. She's had a bad game. She should have the presence of mind to pull it back out and work some clock.
Unbelievable that Maggie would take that shot. Hopefully she will be able to make up for it with some foul shots here. First shot by Johnston is good.
If you make this second one, Roger, I think you call a 20-second timeout.
And they're going to call a timeout right here. We'll take a timeout as well. The lead for Lewistown is 3 points. We'll be back right after this.
The PIAA girls Western Finals will be played here at IUP Memorial Fieldhouse Tuesday night when Altoona meets the Kingsport. Tip-off will be 7 o'clock. Again, the PIAA girls Western Finals, Altoona and the Kingsport Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.
Back live to IUP. Maggie Johnston at the line, shooting another foul shot. Big foul shot here because it would make it a 2-possession game. A 3-point lead right now for the Lady Panthers, 46-43 with 32.6 seconds to go. Again, the winner advances to the Final Four next Wednesday to play West Mifflin. The seniors' second shot is good. And the lead is 4 points. Blackhawk with the ball, under 30 seconds to go. Miller working one-on-one against Johnson, picks up the dribble, looking for help, gives it up to Daly. Daly up top to Davis, far side to Miller. Miller launches a 3, off rim, no good, and Feathers has the rebound. In the backcourt, and a timeout Lewistown with 12 seconds to go. Wait a second, do we have a timeout? Yes, we do. Timeout, Lewistown, with 12 seconds to play. We'll be back at IUP right after this.
About 20 seconds timeout.
Leadership right there.
Lewis on the inbound, knocked away, but a foul on Blackhawk. Ball was off Maggie Johnston and rolling out of bounds, but they call the foul first against Guandolo, and that'll put Johnston to the line. Lady Panthers trying to exercise the ghosts of IUP. It's been a wild one. 11 seconds to go. And at the line, Johnston will shoot. One and one. So it is not a two-shot foul, just 9. So a 1-and-1 here with 11 seconds to play. Johnston's foul shot is good. 5-point lead.
Lewistown with everyone off the foul line, Roger, as they're going to let Blackhawk inbounds to see if they can finish some of the unfinished business we talked about in the pregame.
At the line, she hits it, and the lead is 6. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7. Miller launches a 3. It is no good. Rebound, McElwain, she's fouled, and we're moving on, baby. The Lady Panthers are gonna pull it out. We are moving to the Final Four, and the ghosts of IUP have just left the building.
And that is the 5th foul on Guandola, and I'll tell you what, Roger, I agree. There's some unfinished business, and it's 2 games down the road, and it's on the highway to Chocolate Town.
That's all for Guandola. She's fouled out of the ball game. Well, Blackhawk wore the T-shirts into the building that said unfinished business. They'll be able to wear them again next year because it's Lewistown that's going to move on. McElwain at the line, hits it. 50-43. The Lady Panthers will move to play West Mifflin. Second shot by McElwain. It's in. 2 seconds, 1 second. This baby's over, and we're moving on. Lewistown. A 51-43 win for the Lady Panthers. 51-43. They advance to the Final Four. We'll be back with a post-game show from IUP right after this. I need you guys to just slide.
A reminder, when you exit the field house, please do so at the doors opposite of the main lobby. Please exit the doors opposite of the main lobby.
Let's go off the air.
Below the Pennsylvania Conference line.
And welcome back again live, folks, to IUP. Roger Hurto, Billy Joel Diamond, Joe Pappas, and Statman high above Miller Memorial Fieldhouse. And we were worried about the ghosts of IUP, and they were hanging around for 3.5 quarters. But down the stretch, the Lady Panthers, Joel Diamond, showed why they are #1 in Pennsylvania and ranked in the top 20 by USA Today.
A great effort by Lewistown. Usually Lewistown wins ball games with their offense. Tonight they won it with their defense. Also, a big differential from the free throw line as Lewistown outscored Blackhawk from the free throw line by a 24-8 margin tonight.
Wow.
And you could say that was the difference.
You would certainly think so. Joe Pappas, what a ball game. I mean, what else can you say other than these two teams battled each other back and forth? Everybody knew it was going to be the game. They had pointed to it. Hard to believe that next Wednesday, and even Hershey could match this one.
You got to give credit to Blackhawk and their club. They fought hard. They missed so many chances down low, and that's really got to hurt. I'm sure Coach DeChillis is telling his club about that, but they fought hard. Just Lewistown was the better team today.
And you got to figure Blackhawk will be able to use those shirts again next year, Joel Diamond, because let's not forget, just one senior on this club.
One senior on the club, but again, what we saw this year is the same thing as last year, Roger and Joe. Coming down the stretch, Blackhawk was no fresher than Lewistown. Even with going to the bench and going deeper, Lewistown won the second half as they did last year. They came from...
And they will advance to the Final Four. When we come back, Joe Diamond and Joe Pappas will run down our stats for the ball game, run down all the scoring. And also I'll try to make myself, listen to me, I'll try to make my way down courtside to find Lewistown head coach Kevin Kotish. An 8-point win for the Lady Panthers. Will return to IUP to wrap things up right after this. And welcome back, everyone, live to IUP. Roger Hurto now down courtside on the floor, in fact, with winning head coach Kevin Kotish, who saw his Lady Panthers claw their way into the Final Four with a 51-43 victory over the Lady Cougars of Blackhawk. Kevin, you told us yesterday in an interview that both teams have been looking forward to this game. Now that it's done, I mentioned to you just before we went on, you look like you played the game. What an exhausting one, and what a great win.
It was loud, it was hot, it was everything it was built up to be. I mean, both teams worked so hard on defense, you know, both teams just didn't have anything left, I don't think, at the end. You saw a lot of extra turnovers you wouldn't normally see, but I attribute that to the pace of this game, the stakes of this game, you know, just everything there is packed into it. Just a thrill to come out on the winning end of it.
Certainly was, and you mentioned some things that we normally don't see down the stretch. A couple of turnovers, maybe some decisions that weren't the best ones in the world. I saw you shake your head a couple times and wonder, what are we doing? But somehow they had truly, I think, the will to win this game tonight.
And they did. We gutted it out. You know, there's going to be a few comments made on Monday about some decisions made here down the stretch, because there was times we had to be out there to pull it out and, you know, to run our four quarters to draw the fouls that way. And, you know, if we wouldn't have gotten the foul calls there and be able to sink the foul shots, we might be singing a different tune right now. So we have to take, you know, make good decisions at the end of the game.
What do you have to say about Blackhawk, Kevin? Obviously a great team. They only have one senior. You would think, I commented, those unfinished business T-shirts they have, they can fold them up and maybe use them again next year. They certainly have quite a team.
They certainly do. They're hard workers. They're great kids. You can tell. You know, they only lost one game, and that was an upset loss in the semifinals. You know, they were, like I said, they were the class team from the WPIAA, regardless of class. And we're just happy to be able to be in this, have this opportunity to play them and defeat them for the second year in a row. And we're happy to make them use those unfinished business T-shirts again.
And for you guys, our good buddy Phil Shar waiting in the wings Wednesday night, hopefully at St. Francis. I would hope. We will have to wait and see what the PIAA decides there, but I'm sure you don't even really want to talk about that game a whole lot right now. It's got to be a tired group in that locker room. I even noticed on the floor trying to celebrate, they're trying to get pumped up, but at the same time, there wasn't a whole lot left.
No, there was. They gave everything they had. We look forward now to this Western Final matchup. Hope all the fans come out and support us again as they have today. This was brilliant. You know, just exciting when you can get an ovation like that. Just feel that roar of the crowd. You know, we have a lot of respect for Phil Shar's coaching ability and the ability of his players, what he does with his program, but we don't have any respect for Phil Shar personally for the insults he directed at us last year. You know, it's one thing to say in the heat of the battle, but he never did apologize for it. So we did take that personally then.
All righty, we'll find out next Wednesday. The Lady Panthers take on West Mifflin, and the winner will head back to Hershey. Kevin, congratulations.
Thanks, Roy. I'd like to say hi to Shelly back home listening. Brought her home from the hospital yesterday. I love you, honey. I hope you're feeling better, and I'll see you when I get home.
Our wishes as well from the crew at CHX. Now let's go back up to the rafters to Billy Joel Diamond and Joe Pappas.
And thank you, Roger, and a great win tonight for Kevin Kotish and the Lewistown Lady Panthers. And Joe, you've been with us for a month now, and this is the best game you've seen.
To watch the blowouts is nice, you know, to just pummel a team by 40 points. But when you win a game like this, and the moment, it's just an absolute incredible feeling. A close game like this, it could have gone either way. Great ball game.
Okay, Joe, quickly running down tonight's scoring.
Leading the way for Blackhawk was Rebecca Davison. She had 11 points. Tara Guandolo had 10 points. After her, Lisa Miller poured in 9. Larissa Daly had 7. Kyrie Snyder had 4, and Lisa Miller had 2.
And the Lewistown Lady Panthers, they'll advance to the Western Final, the Final Four in the state, Wednesday night against West Mifflin.
Rounding up the scoring for Lewistown, all the starters were the only scorers. Krista Gingrich led the way with 20 points. Jenna Feathers had 13. Maggie Johnston poured in 8. Heather McElwain scored 6, and Hillary Worley finished up with 4.
So another great game tonight from IUP. Lewistown, a 51-43 win over Blackhawk, a great Blackhawk team. Lewistown will advance Wednesday night, hopefully at St. Francis or closer to Mifflin County, and they will play West Mifflin. For our crew tonight, Joe Zampelli, Hank Hain, Matt Moore, and Dave Eichenlob, Joe Pappas, Roger Hurto, and Jim Rubel back at the station. This is Billy Joel Diamond saying thanks for listening. Okay, Jim, we're out of here. See you Wednesday. Bye.